Did you see the Patrice documentary?
Yeah, I watched it when it first came out, like right that night it aired. And I didn't know what clips they were going to use. I knew I wasn't going to be in it in a sit-down interview because I didn't do a sit-down interview. They got Opie, they got Jim Norton, a few other, like a lot of comics they got.
Yeah, Voss was in it.
Yeah, Voss.
Keith Robinson.
DePaulo had a quick clip they gave him. But other people that really knew Patrice and were very friendly with him weren't on it.
Really?
Big J was like a really good friend with Patrice, and he was literally in the blurred depth of field background in a video clip. Nick DePaulo, both Boston guys, he knew Patrice, but his take was a little different. And Nick has that baggage too, where people think he's a racist. So, I was surprised at how little they used. They had the O&A show. They had clips from the O&A show, and every clip was Opie talking. And me and Patrice had just amazing conversations on that show. There were bits we did together that were just legendary, and none of that made it. Like, I was barely heard in the background of some of that stuff. And again, I didn't take that. I took it personally in that I thought the decision was a personal decision. Somebody decided that I shouldn't be in that. And it wasn't for lack of knowing Patrice. It wasn't for lack of interacting and having material with Patrice. That's all over the place. It was for a personal reason. And that gets me kind of annoyed.
Because you're not doing justice to him and his story.
Yeah, it's about him. That's why I wasn't like, why weren't I? It's not about me. And I understand why more of the comics were in it than even the O&A show and stuff. He's a comic. He was a comic. That's what the whole story is about. The clubs he came up in, the comics he worked with, his career and attempts at getting pilots and screwing things up. Like, that's the story. It's not the Anthony Cumia and Patrice O'Neal documentary. So that didn't bother me, and it wouldn't have bothered me at all if it was because I wasn't pertinent to the Patrice O'Neal story, but it was for a personal reason, or vendetta, if I might say, and that kind of pissed me off.
Yeah, because I was watching it going like, man, like wasn't Anthony the one of the two that was like funnier and had the really good relationships with all the comics, and the comics all felt closer to, and like Opie was just like the kind of like, I don't know, like the babysitter, or like the no fun dad figure. I don't know.
Time to wrap it up guy, and let's go to the phones and things like that. Yeah.
Did you observe his sort of like self-sabotaging ways, like while you were, working with him?
Oh yeah, everyone saw it, but you never know. The thing with comedy, especially, but any part of the entertainment field, is you just don't know what the next day brings. You go through these amazing highs and lows. I know a lot of people, a lot of comics. Good friend of mine is Adam Ferrara. I've known Adam before either of us were in this business. We were in construction and things like that. He was always a funny guy. And then he was talking about it recently, and the ups and downs. One year you're on Dennis Leary's hit TV show, and then the next, you're back on the road as a road comic. You still have the same bills to pay. You still have, the same things you have to do in life. But if you're looking for security, you pick the wrong business.
You should have worked at a bank. Yeah.
Yeah. But as far as Patrice is concerned, we would see the self-sabotage, but then he'd do something like Elephant in the Room. And you're like, oh, it doesn't matter if he self-sabotages because he's that good. It's going to rise to the top. He could try to shit on himself as much as he wants, but he's too good for himself to even sabotage. He did many times. And that was what I always thought the end product would be. Like, he's just too good to even for him to fuck it up. And then he died. So I guess that's a way, eating too many cookies was self-sabotaging too for him. But when I saw the documentary and I saw all these other comics talking about his self-sabotage and how they appreciated that he wasn't like everyone that just folded. He had his ethics, we're oddly enough, that he would stick to. And then they keep me out of the show because I did the same exact thing. I
didn't compromise.
To kowtow and bend over and do that. And people have said it cost me, and in certain ways, of course it did, but it didn't cost me who I am and what I believe in myself. And that's what Patrice did. And while they're crowing about it because he's dead, I'm not on the documentary because I'm pretty much doing the same thing. It's an odd irony, I think.
Yeah, my boyfriend and I were watching it and we were joking. I think he said to me, he's like, it's so funny, like parts of Patrice kind of like rubbed off on his closest friends. Like Voss started wearing the fedoras, Bobby gained all the weight, and then what was it? Keith had the stroke or something.
Oh my God. That's funny.
Oh man.
Tragically funny. Oh my God.